Tatum practiced with the Celtics G League affiliate, and Tatum, he spoke for the first time about that today.
I'm feeling good. It was good to be a part of practice yesterday with the main G League guys. Today is 39 weeks, so it's been a long journey. And it's just like the progression of rehab. It was the next step. Doesn't mean that coming back or not. It's just following the plan. So it's just another step.
Just the next step, but it's certainly good to hear from Jason Tatum as we say hello to our senior insider, Shams Charania. So, Shams, we hear that Tatum just says this is the next step, but what does practicing with the G League team mean for his return to play timeline?
Well, it means that Jason Tatum participated fully in his first 5-on-5 scrimmage with Celtics rostered players, two-way players, G League players, not just coaches. So he participated fully in that 5-on-5 scrimmage on Monday. And everyone I spoke to with knowledge of Monday's practice told me Tatum looked great. And he's been ramping up. He has done 5-on-5 with coaches over the last 10 days. But it's different when you play your fellow teammates, two-way players, and G League players. And he has been operating as a player who has a defined debuting this season. There are still boxes for Jason Tatum to check. And at the end of all this, there's going to be about a dozen people gathering in a room and deciding and determining whether Jason Tatum is 100% cleared medically and 100% cleared on a mental level.
But it is good to hear that he looked great in that scrimmage, in that practice. Sinead Gumake, Danny Green are here with us as well. When a player progresses, friends, to 5-on-5, what does that tell you? Both of you guys have gone through big injuries in your career. I'll start with you here, Danny. What does that tell you about their timeline to return?
It's pretty soon. I mean, in my eyes, because when I did 5, I didn't have an Achilles, I did a knee. But when I was in 5-on-5 shape or playing, it seemed a bit easier than one-on-one because you have people out there helping you. But it let me know that I was closer mentally, physically to returning to play. It usually takes about 2 to 3 weeks to get back there. For him, he has a lot of time right now. I wouldn't rush it because I don't see them as the contenders with or without him. I still see the Knicks coming out of the East. But this is a good, progression for him. It's a good space to be in, and mentally it helps him kind of get over that hump and get that encouragement that he needs to say, I can get out there and I can still do this.
Yeah, first things first, no pressure for Jason Tatum. I did have an Achilles, and when I got to 5-on-5, it only took me about 2 weeks before I was cleared to actually play. But technically, I did not play because the season was later. It was a couple months later.
Yeah.
And that's why I say there's a big difference between playing and practice, where everyone is a little bit more reserved and they understand that you have an injury, versus playing in a game where people actually target and try to exploit the fact that you are coming back.
Yeah.
So again, I think it's a great sign for Jason Tatum for his recovery. Great job to the doctors and the staff there. But to return at this point in the season, knowing that the pressure is on, that is a difficult situation. But I'm happy that mentally he feels comfortable. And I'll lastly say this. Every time I jumped when I started playing, I thought about, I landed. Every time I fell, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm good. It is a mental adjustment as much as it is a physical adjustment that he'll have to navigate.
That's what I was curious about, Sinead. How much of this, because you hear about players who have these catastrophic injuries, that they're ready to come back. They've checked all of the benchmarks. But how big of a hurdle is that, getting over whatever that mental block is in your own mind?
First of all, it's great to see signs that people have had Achilles injuries and come back and been all-stars, MVPs. I was in the WNBA at that time. I saw Breanna Stewart, Alyssa Thomas. They all came back from Achilles situations, and so they were able to progress and show that it's possible. But for Jason Tatum, I do believe that mental part is the hardest part, because it's something where your body is fine, but your mind is the one that's going to provide those questions for you. There's a bad pass. You have to jump. You're like, ooh, am I good?
Yeah.
But the play action is still happening. But still, the timeline for him is very advantageous. I just feel like the Celtics have already done their job for this season. There's no pressure for him to return.
Yeah, I mean, again, I can only reiterate what she's been saying. That 5-on-5 gets you in that basketball shape, that mental shape of being able to do those things. You have to kind of relearn a lot of things. You got to relearn how to walk, got to relearn how to run and jump. And the game is really fast. You got to find ways in this league. It's already to slow the game down. So for him to get in there sooner, it'll help him adjust. Because I remember my first game back, I'm like, damn, this game is really fast.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of time to do that. So 5-on-5 helps a lot, especially with other players. And then if he gets more reps in that, it'll just make him more comfortable when he does come back.
I know that everything, Shams, that Jason Tatum is saying is trying to temper expectations. This is just another step, but there's a lot of folks in Boston who are incredibly excited just to see this step. What happens next?
The next step is him continuing to build that rhythm and getting his conditioning right and continue to feel confident, because I think that's really the next step for him, is getting there mentally and emotionally and confident in that leg that he injured. I mean, think about it. In May, he suffers the Achilles, and now you're looking at March. I think what's going to be important for the Celtics is somewhere in March, if you're able to get Jason Tatum back on the floor, that gives him the proper amount of games ahead of the playoffs in mid-April to get you going and get you under the right conditions to return. Because if you're just coming back with 5, 8, 10 games left in the season, that could be even more difficult. Now, I don't think the Celtics want Jason Tatum to just return with about a handful of games left in the season. They want him to have an appropriate amount of time before the playoffs. But, I mean, even if he returns in March, that's 10 months. That's a pretty remarkable recovery time.
It is.
And this is not just any team. This is a team that has championship potential aspirations if he is back.
Yeah, this is a team and a city that certainly knows winning at the highest level, and a player who certainly knows it as well. Shams, thank you very much. We appreciate the time. Speaking of ramp up, we think you need to ramp up a little bit of work here as we go towards the celebrity
game. Let's go, Shams. Get that jumper going.
All right, let's go to players trying to break it up. All four of those guys, Jalen Duren, Isaiah Stewart, Moussa Diabate, Miles Bridges, all ejected. Moussa still having something to say as he exits the court here. And then this is the fourth quarter when Grant Williams runs into Paul Reed, knocks him over. Charles Lee, the head coach of the Hornets, he's up.
Our guys deal with a lot, right? But they're not the ones that initiated. They're not the ones that crossed the line tonight. It was clear, through frustration because of what JD was doing, that they crossed the line.
I'll have to go back and watch it again. Just looked like, a ton of physicality, and two guys kind of got in a heated conversation, and then it kind of spiraled from there.
Yeah, what was it like being out there in the middle of all that action?
What was it like?
Yeah.
It's fun. Next question.
Next question. All right, you got to expect there's going to be disciplinary action here. Expect suspensions for all four players involved. I spoke to a league source this morning, and the NBA is likely going to take into account past suspensions, past actions, especially when you're talking about Isaiah Stewart, potentially even Miles Bridges, as the NBA weighs the number of games that each guy could miss. We expect that to come down maybe late today, more likely tomorrow, as we say hello to Tim McMahon, to Bobby Marks. Bobby, you've seen these suspensions be handed out before. What's the numbers that you're looking at?
Well, first, I don't think any of us had Charlotte-Detroit on the bingo board as the new next rivalry here.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Listen, I think when you talk about past, what has happened in the past, I think Isaiah Stewart, 10 games.
Yeah,
potentially.
probably.
I think it's going to be one of the bigger on-court discipline.
Yep.
I think for Miles Bridges, it's going to be more than 2 because he escalated again. There's a reason why Isaiah Stewart ran on the court. And then certainly for
Janae was hitting the group chat with
It's like, oh, they fighting. I'm like, who's fighting? I just wish it didn't carry over to this. Ironically, Moussa is kind of doing his Isaiah Stewart impression by going after Duren. It didn't have to go that far. And then it's on brand for Isaiah Stewart to stand up for his guys. So we didn't need it to go that far, but we'd love to see it. And like Mr. Mark said, I'm looking forward to a Detroit-Charlotte first-round matchup if we can get it in the playoffs.
Which who would have thought?
We do not condone violence. We must always protect the sanctity of the game. But I'm not gonna lie, this was cinema. So I was watching this game alongside my dad, and I was like, to defend yourself. But the escalation afterward, that's where I was like, oh my gosh, popcorn, not great for the league. Like you mentioned, players coming off the bench should never happen because it's a safety situation. But I will say this game matters to those teams.
Yeah.
The Pistons have rebuilt themselves off of the identity of defense. Since January 1st, they've had the best defense in the NBA. The Hornets were on a win streak, a 9-game win streak. They had actually the third best points allowed defense. So these are two very intrinsically scrappy teams. And I like that the Hornets want to prove themselves against the East best. And I like the East are like, we're not punks. So again, we don't condone violence. But your girl was eating her popcorn and texting the group chat like, yo, these guys care.
I get the whole WWE angle. Let the tanking teams brawl. These teams have something to play for. And seriously, I'm watching this and I'm saying, oh, God, there's going to be significant suspensions. Is this going to derail seasons? The Hornets have been one of the best stories in the league. They finally are relevant again. They've been as hot as any team in the league. Now what happens? How long are these guys going to be out? Isaiah Stewart's going to be sitting for a while. The Pistons might have enough of a lead, but I'm looking at this and saying, man, these teams have too much at stake to do stupid things that is going to impact their season.
How do you learn from mistakes, though?
Right.
You know, like that, you make the mistake and then you learn.
So don't start
well,
there.
but Moussa Diabate, his insertion into the starting lineup has corresponded with the Charlotte Hornets and their takeoff this season. So this is going to be a lesson for this young player. this stuff, it actually matters, though. All right, we got a lot to get to on this show, including the tanking discussion. Guys, it's rearing its ugly head again. What we saw last night in Miami and what league insiders are saying about that Jazz. Plus, we do have an unfortunate All-Star update for this weekend, what it means for the Warriors, and which player gets the nod now that we know Steph Curry is going to be sidelined. Also, have we gotten used to Harden yet in a Cleveland jersey? Anyway, unfortunately, he's ruled out through the All-Star break. That means he will not play in the All-Star game with that lingering knee issue. But Adam Silver selected Brandon Ingram to replace him. Janae, your thoughts?
I like this. I like this because you understand that the All-Star game matters to B.I. He's the leading scorer for the Raptors. They're 2 games out from potentially being even number 2 in the East, and he did say that, you know, going to the Raptors helped him defensively, but also offensively. He's more of an efficient player, so I like this new look B.I., a new perspective from him. So nailed it.
There you go. On the Warriors side of it, the team says that they're hopeful Steph will be back right after the break, and the Warriors are also still waiting on Tingus Pink. A vintage night from the big man. Tim, what did he bring?
Hey, listen, Al Horford did what the Warriors wanted him to do when they brought him in. The Grizzlies all thought loss for the Memphis Grizzlies, blowing a 10-point lead by going scoreless in the last 4 minutes. Nice job, Warriors. You accepted a gift.
A hard-fought loss. What a phrase. All right, well, how about the Timberwolves? Tied a franchise record with 81 points in the first half. The Wolves won. That's despite losing Naz Reid. He had a little scuffle with Mohamed Gay. Danny, how badly do these guys just need maybe a little All-Star break?
Oh, man, it's the dark days. They need it very badly. All these teams, a lot of scuffling happening going on, but I do love the fact that the Minnesota Timberwolves are kind of trending in a better direction after hearing the murmurs yesterday of they need something better to happen for them. So this is a good win for them, but we need an All-Star break. A lot of teams, again, very antsy out there, and a lot of fights are happening. We don't need that.
You know who is not trending in a great direction? Yeah, this is the Tankathon. Larry Markkinen, Jaren Jackson, Yusuf Nurkic all sat the entire fourth quarter, but Bryce Sensabaugh, he made the game-winning shot to beat Miami. This is clearly the game plan, right, Tim?
Read the room, buddy.
This is the game
Read the room.
Listen, you can't.
You got to find a way to win even against teams that are, you know, I guess you can say trying to lose.
Close to you put in Jaren about that.
That wasn't.
Yikes. All right, Bobby, it's time to talk about the T word.
Will Hardy.
Tanking.
Oh, man.
Where do things stand in terms of the conversation between the league and teams right now? Because it feels like we're reaching a little bit of a fever pitch.
I mean, between the fight last night and what happened with Utah,
What a time.
my text thread was pretty filled. I mean, I think it's more about the I word, the integrity word. I think what Utah is doing right now is messing around with the integrity of the NBA. The ability to sit players, starters, in the fourth quarter, to not call timeouts in the fourth quarter. Orlando won the game on Saturday because they basically rested players. And it backfired on them last night. So I think if you're the league, you're looking at it. All right, can we do some gimmicks? Can we alter protections and eliminate protections as far as picks? Or can we put the hammer down?
Well, tanking is the biggest problem that the league has right now, and it is an epidemic. The Jazz have become the poster boys. They're not alone. A third of the league is blatantly tanking right now. Would it be better if the Jazz got Jaren Jackson Jr. and said, hey, you've got a hangnail. Looks like you need to sit for a few months, like Washington has done with Trae Young, like Indiana has done with the Ivica Zubac? This is on Adam Silver and the league office to figure out a solution, to figure out how to make it not smart strategy, because the best teams in the league have benefited from tanking. That's the problem.
Really quick question, then. Does the F word respectfully come up in
Whoa.
fine?
Fine.
Relax. Fine. Do you think that's enough of...
How much? 10?
I mean, haven't we
million?
seen, was it back in like 2023 or so, like $750,000 to organizations?
And guess what? For example, the Mavericks...
I didn't think that through.
The Mavericks paid fine. The Mavericks paid high six-figure fines twice for tanking. Once they ended up getting Luka Doncic. The next time, they ended up getting that top 10 protected pick that turned into Derek Lively up to go to the finals next year. They'll pay those fines 100 times.
So you're saying that's
over.
not enough?
You've got to make it to where tanking's not smart strategy. You have to do that.
And so what does that actually look like, though?
Is there a world where they can freeze frame the records at a certain point in the season to where it doesn't matter anymore after that point? Like at the trade deadline or at All-Star break. Teams are not going to tank that early, right? So, like, this is what your record, these are your lottery odds at this point in the season. So the rest of the season doesn't matter. So you better play for a play-in or play for the playoffs at that point.
I think you can, but there's always going to be a way for team to manipulate the rules. Whether we go a shortened season or we freeze the records here, there's still going to be something there that teams are going to be. And as one team said, it's not about the gimmicks anymore. It's about the league actually having a hard conversation to address this.
Oklahoma City, right, the best team in the NBA, benefited by tanking for years. They were sort of the face of it.
Theirs was at least a quick tank.
Yeah, but they were sort of the face of being able to get all these picks and recoup it and get it all back. I think when the play-in tournament started, Bobby, there was a conversation about, oh, is this going to be the end of tanking? And for a little while, it seemed like fewer teams at least were tanking. Obviously, this draft is incredibly deep. It's very good. There's a lot of incentive. People are incentivized to be able to get a high pick in this draft in particular. Is the league viewing this right now as a problem that needs to be fixed?
It's a problem.
Okay.
It's a problem that needs to get fixed, and I'm expecting the commissioner to address it this weekend during All-Star break. I think as much as great as All-Star weekend is, this is something that's looming over the league's shoulders.
On the Hoop Collective, you all have suggested some pretty creative possible solutions to the end of
hit us. I want to know.
Well, one is like Danny's saying, except for wins count towards the lottery standings after a certain point. You know, there have also been, and these are ideas like we're not coming up with these ideas. These are people in the league coming up with the ideas. Now, you know, they've talked about not having mid-lottery pick protections, things like that. I will say, the whole idea of flattening the lottery odds was designed to address this, and it's only made it worse because now instead of having 3 or 4 teams tanking, you've got 9 or 10.
Right, and we expect to hear from Adam Silver in his press conference this weekend at All-Star. I do expect he will be asked several questions about this. All right, Bobby, thank you very much for that insight. Coming up here on NBA Today, in Los Angeles last night, the top 2 scorers in the league, both out. Luka, SGA, they both average over 30 points a game, but they were not on the floor. Guess who was, though? Jalen Williams returned after missing 10 straight games with a hamstring injury. Today, we're going to pick this one up 4 minutes in the first quarter. The Thunder down. Jalen Williams gets a steal.
I understand why a lot of people say, hey, stars might be out, but it does not matter. It gives opportunity for people to show up. Okay, fam?
I did not know Austin had those types of wheels. All right, third quarter, OKC up now. Jalen Williams, nice move. He got better as the game went on here.
Snatch.
LeBron.
Beautiful pass.
Nice find. You got to make those.
That's his signature all-time LeBron play.
By the way, it was his 3rd straight game. We got to see those assist numbers.
Alex Caruso showed up.
All right, to the 4th quarter we go. This highlight's flying. Jalen Williams cutting for the layup, gets inside. OKC back up by 3 here. Under 4 minutes left in the 4th. OKC still up. Jalen Williams.
Rock you to sleep. Rockabye.
This is when he really started to take over.
Fresh babe, you know what I'm saying?
With the left.
Yo, when he put that in, I was like so clean and so smart.
Caught Chet slipping out there.
And then this is like a ensuing possession here for OKC. Luke Kennard, he had solid defense here, but J-Dub.
So, oh, man. The fight, that was great positioning.
Great defense. Got to keep fighting. Got to finish.
They were worried about like the shot.
Yeah, so it was reviewed for a shot clock violation. The bucket will stand though, and then Jalen Williams is putting the finishing touches here on this one.
It's unfair.
He led all scorers with 23 points in 24 minutes, including 10 in the 4th quarter. And the Thunder get the win. They beat the Lakers for the 3rd time this season. It took J-Dub a minute, right, to find his rhythm after missing 10 games. It's what you'd expect, but he found it when it mattered. He led all scorers in the 4th, and that is what champions do. They dig in when it's winning time. LeBron James, he did not see the same effort from the Lakers.
You want me to compare us to them?
No, I want to know where you think that, like, sort of as this team is on, it's like...
That's a championship team right there. We're not. So, I don't understand.
What are the biggest things you think that are keeping this team as
we can't sustain energy and effort for 48 minutes. And they can. That's why they won a championship.
Danny, you won a championship with LeBron. What'd you make of that?
I mean, they are younger, so they should be able to sustain effort and energy for longer. But he's 41 years old. He's older. He's probably tired. But the group, the rest of those younger guys, they have to step up, find a ways to keep it going. I give them a little grace. They haven't been fully healthy all year. Luka's been out, and then when Luka, they just can't get right. AR's been out. Even AR being on like minute restriction, they're still trying to figure it out. So I know the frustrations he's going through. It is trying to get to All-Star break right now. He probably needs a little wine week or so. But, you know,
give himself
wine back. But they played against a younger team, so it's expected. I didn't have expectations for them.
There's no magic wand that can make them all 4 or 5 inches like taller. You know, this is a team that we all know with the upside when Luka's out there. offensively, they can score with the best of them, but defensively, that's their biggest issue all year long. And so to be able to dig in, this is just not the group. The personnel is the personnel. And unless you have tremendous buy-in and tremendous lock-in for 82 games, you're going to see the lack of effort show up in certain spots.
He's also stating the obvious. Of course they're not a championship team. They got bounced in the first round last year. That's likely their result this year. And it's a frustrating season for a bunch of guys who are in the last years of the contracts, including LeBron, who for the first time in his life doesn't have complete control of the circumstances around him.
Right, and so, you know, this is something that the Lakers tonight, it's going to be very interesting to see. They're on the second night of a back-to-back with the San Antonio Spurs coming into town. We'll have a report later on who exactly will be available here for the Lakers. But let's go from LeBron's current team to his former one. Don't look now, but the Cavaliers have won 4 straight.
This is for you.
James Harden, Donovan Mitchell playing in their second game together against another all-star duo, Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray. This is how they got this done. This was a good one. Let's go to the third quarter here. The Nuggets leading by 2 here, Tim. Jokic.
Unfair.
Did he call glass, though?
He definitely called
I think he did. He knew shooting that high.
Anything he does is by accident.
Brown finds Jokic under the basket.
Oh, man.
Little give and go.
Easy little layup there.
Action.
And then jumping ahead to the fourth here.
Not fair. Like, how you going to guard that with one
There's
person?
nothing you can do. Jalen Pickett on the wing for 3. Jokic notched his 113 home games. He's had a triple-double. That ties Russell Westbrook for the most in NBA history. But then it was Cavs time. This is why you get James Harden. Steals the ball. Goes
Look at the hustle.
Speed.
Yeah.
Throws at the lob.
Okay.
Professional.
Jared Allen will enjoy the James Harden experience.
He will love it.
The spin
I
from
love
Donovan
his one-handed
Mitchell.
spin moves.
A couple possessions later, here come the Cavaliers. Mitchell finds Allen.
Yeah.
Nice little slam. Cavs
At
trying.
some point, someone will say, "It's me" with me.
Don't understand. Do it right. Wait, one more time. James Harden.
Hey.
Doing what he does.
James Harden doing what he does. Hello.
It's me.
Hello.
It's me.
Yep, this is
4-3.
a little signature step back 3 there for Harden to tie the game. And then the Nuggets trying to regain the lead here. It was a good look. Tim Hardaway can't put it away.
Getting out fast.
And so here we go. Mitchell makes the free throws after this play, and they go on to win the game. Here's Harden and Mitchell on what they had to say in this impressive win.
Find a way to get it done, you know. It's our second game, no practices, couple film sessions. That's the way it's supposed to happen. But like I said before, man, just a lot of unselfish guys that Donovan just gave me the ball multiple times down the stretch, and he trusted me to make a play. So great group of guys.
And we still haven't practiced. We're just hooping on vibes right now, like, you know what I'm saying, just figuring it out.
This was a fun one, so let's break it down. You know what? It might be kind of crazy, but James Harden might actually really legit be the system. No practice, no film sessions, according to James Harden, but they're still building chemistry on the court. Let's show you, using the telestrator, how he got it done. But first, I want you guys to look in the fourth quarter. These are the key players right now, the new look Cleveland Cavaliers. You got James Harden, Donovan Mitchell on the wing, and then, of course, Jared Allen down low. And I want you to talk us through, Danny, the conundrum that they put Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray in.
Yeah, this
right
is
down here.
This is a pregame. They pre-switched this. This was a philosophy they wanted to do. James, being the system that he is, he reads this. He sees it happening right away, knowing that they want to switch, keep guards on guards, bodies on bodies. As soon as he sees it happen, he gets off the ball fast as possible. Gets to Donovan Mitchell, and because Jamal Murray is not used to guarding a big man, he does not know what to do. Jared Allen rolls butt naked down the middle of the lane. Donovan Mitchell hits him, and he has either a layup or a 3 from Sam Merrill right now. Jared Allen's eating off anything he wants. He getting everything on the plate.
And look at the footwork.
Taking his
the
time,
spin move.
Easy layup right there, because James Harden said he's so smart and he's the system. He knows how to pick apart any defense.
But he can also destroy defenses super quick. So I'm going to pause it real quick because, look, it's 21 seconds, and the action has already happened in the right corner. I want you to take a look right here because 21 seconds, you can see it on the clock, does not matter. 1:44 left in the game, and this is the action that they're getting. A quick pin down. We know what happens here.
2-on-1.
2-on-1. 1, 2, 3 players all involved. And boom.
Bad business for Jokic. Easy dunk for Jared Allen.
If you think about it, the fourth quarter, that's a separator because a lot of people have questions about James Harden. Is this going to translate in the postseason? So far, the sample size looks good. These two guys, 28 points created by Harden and Mitchell in that fourth quarter against the Denver Nuggets, who are legit teams that are trying to make their statements in the postseason. Yeah.
You guys illustrated that so beautifully. I'm sorry, Danny, butt naked down the lane.
I should have said it that way. But, you know.
He was wide open.
You know what?
He was streaking down the lane.
He was streaking down the lane. Tim, long term, though, you've covered James Harden. You've covered these teams. Do you think that this is something that's going to work? Because the early returns, as these two just showed, are really promising.
Yeah, and it's usually difficult to add a ball-dominant star midway through the season at the trade deadline. You know, I go back to when the Mavericks traded for Kyrie Irving. And it's not that Luka and him were, like, feuding or anything, but it was just there was a kind of too much deferring. These guys, and then obviously the next year they take off, but these guys, it has been a quick, easy, instant chemistry. There's also a clear pecking order. You saw at the end of the game. James gets the ball, boom, Donovan, it's your show.
And that's sort of the question, especially with Evan Mobley when he comes back. He's been out with a calf injury, but he's sort of an ISO-heavy player. There's one ball. How do you keep the ball moving when he comes back, and he's going to need to be fed too?
Yeah, I think he's going to ultimately do the same thing Jarrett Allen does. He's going to get a lot of easier open shots because the floor is going to be open with James Harden on the floor. The question for them is not what they could do it in the regular season. It's the playoffs. You know, are the lights going to be too bright for them? Can they rebound? Can they show toughness? Can James show up? Like, that's the question. During the regular season, I like this duo. I think it's going to be great. I don't know if they're a championship team, but they are definitely a team that can upset some groups.
I know, Malika, you just said ISO heavy. James Harden still leads the league in isolations, but the difference is the one that I knew in Houston, that was leading to a step back. This guy is the best version of himself because he uses the isolation to create and manipulate defenses so well. I mean, like we saw early in the shot clock, late, or when he knew just to knock down his own shot because he's not getting double teamed as much. It's a good situation, but again, we will judge them in April,
this is something we're going to judge them in the postseason, right? The Denver Nuggets, real quick, they've lost 4 out of 5. Your concern level, this is really low, this is really high. How are we going? High, low, middle.
Get healthy, and the Nuggets going to be
all right,
real
get healthy, and then we'll have a conversation.
Zero power forwards that are healthy.
They're probably for all the wrong reasons. The Hornets entered the game, though, on a 9-game winning streak, 1 win away from the franchise record, and there was a pretty good game that was played outside the kerfuffle.
Winning has brought life back to Charlotte, the diverse talent that they have, but also the Pistons taking on the other end.
The Pistons are not who you want to see.
Not a rivalry.
I mean, this escalated way too far than it should have. But you love the competitive nature, but this went way too far.
This is where we start getting into
move there, sees it, walks away. Diabate, Bridges, Duren, all were ejected from this game, and eventually Detroit does go on here to get the win. Now, if you're on a hot streak, we mentioned this, you don't want to see the Pistons. They snapped the Knicks, remember this earlier this season, 8-game winning streak. Now they snapped the Hornets' 9-game winning streak. Not that many teams have gone on to win close out multiple 8-game winning streak. You can see where that falls in NBA history here. But elsewhere in the East, the Magic hosted the Giannis-less Bucks last night.
Great team.
We're going to pick this up just over a minute left in the first.
Shirt on the Bucks.
Yeah, it's a little interesting, but it's Michael Jordan, so you get away with it.
Yes.
Well, with all the conversation
speaking of Jordan,
Franz Wagner, a little reverse. Take another look. Yeah, nice finish there. He had 14 points, and then under 10 to go, the Bucks down 11. Cam Thomas, new pickup for them. Like that.
Does get buckets.
That was his first bucket
that is true.
with the Bucks. Bucks down 9.
We see you.
Less than 2 minutes later. Suggs to Anthony Black. Black with the hammer there. You got up for that one.
You got a great year this year.
Nice little connection.
Oh, we see you.
Yeah. Black had 26 points. The Magic win 118-99 here in this one. Now the Bucks, their upcoming slate, you can see how they head into the All-Star break here. They'll go in the break, and then Milwaukee's next home game after that, it's not until February 22nd. That's when they play the Raptors, who right now are in the 5 seed. And we know Giannis has been out since the 23rd of January with that calf injury. Our reporter, Jamal Collier, is on the case for us. When do we think we're going to see Giannis return here, Jamal?
Well, Malika, Giannis is going to play again this season, and perhaps as soon as sometime later this month after the All-Star break. You know, that February 20th date you just pointed out is about 4 weeks from that 4 to 6 week timeline that he initially laid out. And my sources are saying that Giannis is hoping to trend on the shorter end of that timeline. All last week, as the trade deadline speculation was ramping up about his future, Giannis actually was still getting on the court before each game in Milwaukee, working out his calf, really sort of increasing the vigor of those on-court workouts as the week went on. And Doc Rivers said it last week that the Bucks have no plans to shut Giannis down for the rest of this season. The team just signed Cam Thomas, who was one of the hottest, commodities and guards on the buyout market. So this is a team that still wants to compete. They still want to try for a play-in tournament, and Giannis expects to play again here at some point this season.
Yeah, I guess I made the assumption, yeah, Giannis is going to play. When is he going to play? Because that's who Giannis is. That's who we all know him to be. But the Bucks are in this really interesting crossroads where we know that Giannis is the ultimate competitor. But at the same time, is it in the best interest of the franchise, Jamal, for Giannis to come back and for them to be a play-in team and not be pushing their lottery odds up the standings?
Exactly, Malika. And it felt like maybe Milwaukee took a collective exhale last week after the trade deadline because Giannis is still a member of the team. But this is something that both sides are going to revisit in the offseason as far as Giannis's future and if his best fit long term is in Milwaukee. And that is why the Bucks, they don't get a lot of chances to have this. Right now, they're currently 8th in the reverse lottery odds. They haven't had a top 10 pick in this organization since 2016. So adding that kind of impact player, it could make a huge difference as far as an asset to trade, as far as somebody that Giannis may want to play with long term. If their ultimate goal is to convince him to stay, that draft pick could be, maximizing that draft pick could be huge for the organization. But you know Giannis's nature. He is not going to want to sit out games, not going to be interested in tanking. And if he's on the court, he is going to try to will them to every single win he can for the rest of this year.
And that's so important that it's not just, I think people in Milwaukee say, well, why are you talking about needing to improve our draft odds for what happens after Giannis? It's not just after Giannis. It's needing to have that pick to pair with someone if they want to entice Giannis to stay long term, because we know that winning is the ultimate piece for him. Jamal, thank you very much for that insight. Where the end line is.
Oh, I saw that.
And he just ran onto the court.
Yeah, he just like sort of ran and tried to.
Yeah, he was just like, yeah, it's fine. Or Cam Spencer with a chance to win the game against the Dubs. And the ball just whoop, slips out of his hands.
I want to say the LaMelo one because this is the other one's a game time play. And that was just a brain fart. It's kind of like when Russell Westbrook walked with the ball. So that's definitely a little bit.
It just happened.
I didn't want to remember that one.
That was, I mean.
Yeah, Cam, that's a tough one.
We know he can make that shot, too.
Yeah.
We know that he can make that shot.
Someone in the front office is
sensible.
like,
All right, how about fadeaways here, Chanae?
Please, thank you.
Jokic, a little trademark Sombor sling.
Is this off the glass?
This is off glass, banks open. Or Anthony Simons getting doubled in the corner and then fades towards the baseline.
Yeah, it's the fade, the double team. Jokic, he makes that look easy. Simons, that was really tricky, those corner shots.
Yeah, we almost take it for granted when Jokic does this.
I know.
All right, what about stranger sequence? Tim, this is for you. Colin Sexton, he shoots a free throw, and then he gets very upset with the hoop and flips it off.
Relatable.
This is from this past weekend. Jaden Ivey, he's looking like he's going to load up the pass and then fires it directly into traffic. He's got it. He's got it.
Go. Just go.
As long as it didn't hit the head.
That Bulls backcourt of the future. No, flipping off the hoop.
Don't you ever feel that?
It went in.
Sometimes you just gotta let it out, no matter who, no matter what, no matter where. All right, this is for everyone. Better display of defense. This is the Magic Bucks. The Bucks, they run out, running. Jalen Suggs soars in for the block on the oop attempt. Or check out the steal from Trey Murphy on Devin Carter.
Oh, a little fake out on the side, tap on the wrong shoulder.
There you go.
That's heady. I kind of like the second, Trey?
You like the second?
Yeah.
All right, we're going with the
Very
second.
heady.
My favorite highlight that we just showed was LaMelo, though. That cracks me.
I know, those are brain
Just running bounds with
It
the
was
ball.
just one of those days for the Hornets.